Alrighty, guys, Andrew Bros here. Hey, I want to do a real quick video, really just taking a look at the Jaguars, what they're really looking to do to potentially beat the Chargers this week. As we know, we're favored by 7 points, but at the end of the day, I wanted to just see the other side of the story and get a little bit of an idea and add my commentary to specifically what the Jags are saying they're going to try to do to beat the Chargers this week. Ultimately, we already had a conversation with UFC Jaguar on Wednesday. If you have not seen that video, check it out. I think it really illustrates a lot of what we're discussing here from a podcaster's point of view. But I think this is pretty good, and I want to kind of give my color on this as well. All right, guys, let's get into it. All right, folks, this is a article that just came out today, literally just posted just a few moments ago. I thought it was a pretty good little article kind of breaking down what Jacksonville's going to try and do. Again, a whole new coaching staff. Obviously, Urban Meyer was a dumpster fire last year, total mess. But they got a lot of young talent, guys. We know that they do, and they're gonna be hungry, right? They shut out the Colts last week, so I think they're kind of riding high. But look, they're recognizing this is going to be a hard test for them, and this is really going to be a barometer for them specifically on how good they are, right? How good really are the Jags, this year, right? I mean, because I think they're playing a team, arguably one of the best teams in the AFC, as we know. I think we're top 5 power rankings at this point moving forward. So let's go into this a little bit. There's 10 things that they like to highlight on this. There's 10 things that they're going to talk about. And I'm just going to add my commentary to it as well, too. But, and just give you my thoughts, right? Look, Jacksonville's, this is going to be a really tough test. I really do believe that this is going to be hard, right? I think it'll also be not only hard for the Jags, but it'll be a good barometer where the Chargers are at week 3, right? I've always said it takes 4 weeks for a team to really gel. And I really do believe that we still have a lot of improvements we need to do moving forward, right? So, look, I think we're doing okay, but we could be a lot better. So right now, again, the only team that's ahead of us is the Chiefs at this point, right? Obviously, the Bills look really good. Again, they're just giving accolades to Justin Herbert. Look, all of this is amazing, guys. We've talked about this a few times on our channel. We have 8 players that are on the top 100 NFL player list right now. Okay. We have more talent on our team than any other team in the league. So to talk about this is going to be big, right? Because look, I mean, Justin Herbert, is huge. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And, again, the thing about the NFL that you have to understand is any team can beat any other team any given week, right? Any given Sunday. That's that whole movie, so again, so I think Vegas has at 7 points at this moment, but I do think it's really important to take a look at this. So anyways, again, they are a rapidly improving team, obviously a whole new coaching staff. There's a lot of things they do, but let's get into the list of things that they're going to try to do specifically in this game. Now, whether or not Justin Herbert plays, which I do think he will, they are going to try and put pressure on him quick. And again, they're going to focus on this. Bottom line, they're going to try and get him to move out of the pocket. He obviously doesn't want to take any hits. So they're going to pressure heavily. And again, their pass rush has been very good. They are leading the league right now in takeaways at this point. So it's something to take, into account, right? And again, there's a concern if you pressure Herbert, especially with his rib injury, his accuracy could come down. I'm going to make a prediction that Herbert will play, but I will say this. If his accuracy if his accuracy diminishes in these next couple of days, they may just not let him play. They may say, fine, let's just go with Chase Daniel and go with a different type of, offense, right? Because obviously Chase Daniel is not Justin Herbert, and there's a lot of things they're going to probably not allow him to do. A lot of run, a lot of short passes, so on and so forth. Now, if Bosa and Mack have a good day like they had against the Raiders, it's game over. They're not going to win, right? They're just not going to win. And, again, they have a very young line. Look, I think this is, again, I'm going to give you a theme this year, right? Our defense is going to win us a championship or get us into the playoffs. That's going to be it, right? It's going to be Bosa. It's going to be Mac. It's going to be the ability to take balls away from the other team. Um, again, this is great. This challenge is going to be at a different level. Bottom line, Mac and Bosa, if they can be disruptive and we stop the run, guys, because promise you, I think they're going to really try and run the ball hard. Their running backs are doing very well. They have ETN and I can't remember the guy's name, but they're very, very good. So again, my point is they're going to really, if we could stop the run, put some pressure on the young quarterback's face, we'll be in good standing for this game. They need to forget the past, and I will tell you this. That's true. This is one thing UFC Jaguar talked about is they've never won on the road against the Chargers, right? To be honest with you, the Jags don't travel well. They haven't done very well, but again, they're a young team, totally new coaching staff. So it'll be interesting to see. So look, they have to keep their mind in it 100% and really just think like a champion. And that's been their problem in the past, right? Specifically. And this is big, right? They're leading the league right now in turnovers. Okay. They're +5 in the turnover margin currently right now. Again, they play the Colts, arguably, obviously a pretty terrible team. So, yes, they're on a high right now, but they haven't played really top 10 talent in my opinion. So again, this is why it'll be a good test for them and for us moving forward. This is a good barometer game for both of us, right? So again, and we could be even higher in the turnover margin at this point too. So again, the turnovers are going to be huge, right? Trevor Lawrence is going to obviously try and stay efficient, moving the ball down the road in the field. I think Trevor Lawrence is much improved. I do really believe the new coaching staff has specifically improved his game and the ability to manage a game in a better way. But bottom line, some of his decisions are a little bad, and I think we could get burned. I actually do think we're going to win the turnover margin moving forward. But again, to me, in this situation, staying efficient, I would add a little asterisk to this and say they have to be perfect to beat the Chargers this week. I'm not saying that to be cocky, but I'm saying that because we have more talent across both sides of the ball, okay, defensively and offensively. They have to play a perfect, clean game and get some takeaways from us. If we can play a clean game, we'll win the game for sure. And again, they need to stop the run. Now, I'll tell you guys, we've been pretty bad at the run game this season, right? I was looking at a lot of film on this and watched a lot of YouTubers break down the Chargers' offensive running woes. We're just not gelling on the line. And again, with Corey Lindsley potentially being out this week, that's not going to get any easier, right? So, Zion Johnson's on the right side. Who knows if Trey Pipkins is going to start? That's going to be interesting, right, to see what happens. But again, it's one of the situations where, I don't think Herbert's going to be rushing a whole lot. I mean, they do talk about this a little bit, but again, I really think they're just going to try and keep him in the pocket as much as possible, or roll him out for really short yardage, potential throws, or short, rush yardages after a broken play or whatnot. So I think that'll be pretty interesting. I think the other thing too is they really do need to stay in it, right? I understand where they're saying, this makes sense because they really are a team that if they get down, let's say we get a 14-0 lead, they're probably going to panic a little bit, and they're going to get away from the run, and they're just going to start throwing the ball. Well, that actually plays really well into our defense moving forward, guys, because if they start throwing the ball, guess what? We got a lot of ball hawks back there that are going to catch the ball. I mean, literally, Asante Samuel could have had 2 interceptions last week alone. So, again, we would like them to start throwing because I think we're going to get some takeaways that way, right? And that'll just flip the field and we'll be good to go. So, again, if we come out hot and stay hot, we're going to be in good shape. Again, second half, we've been pretty weak this year so far, guys. So it's something that we need to get on them and stay on them and then move forward, right? So, again, they're going to keep trying to run the ball. Now, this would be a good test against our newly built defensive line. We're actually ranking fairly well. I think we're like top 20, which is, you may say, well, that's not amazing. Well, it's better than it was last year. Last year, we were like dead last in stopping the run. So if we could shut these guys down and make it so they cannot run, and then have to start throwing the ball, guys, I think we're going to have a very good chance of winning the game very easily and soundly, right? So, and again, it's one of the things that if we can make that team one-dimensional, it will be huge, okay? It will be absolutely huge, and so I'm really hoping we can make that happen. And bottom line, James Robinson and Travis Etienne, James Robinson's done well. He had an injury last season. He's looking really good. Etienne is still not really where he needs to be, but he's doing great. And again, Bosa and Mack, look, they're very good at stopping the run. They're really good at sealing the edge and bringing the pressure back to the defensive lineman, right? They're very good at that. So it'll be really interesting to see what they kind of do. I don't think they'll do a lot of RPO a whole lot, but we'll see how it goes. Now, again, we're averaging almost 30 points a game, right? So guys, we're gonna score points. Right. And this is where I think the wheels fall off the tracks for the Jags to win this game. Is we are going to score points. No matter what, we will score points. I think we averaged 29 points a game last season, right? So again, they're wanting a shootout, but again, I think our defense, you got the Mack and Bosa train, and the rest of our improved defense is going to shut them down. They're not going to score 30. So if we score 30, we win. And that's just how it is, right? So, and again, obviously turnover is going to be a big issue. And again, this is another one. This obviously want to take one back, right? All right, are they going to, do a punt return? We were dead last in the league last year, guys, in special teams, and so that is an interesting situation to think about, right? But again, we have a much improved special team. So, look, I think bottom line, as cohesive as this is, and this is exactly right. I mean, this is exactly correct, guys. When you look at this article, this is exactly what they need to do to win. But what I'm saying also is they have to be exactly perfect on executing all of that to win. And when I look at that compared to what we have on the other side of the ball, I just don't think there's a chance that they can execute that perfectly. So anyways, guys, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this moving forward? Do you think they have a shot of winning? My prediction is the Chargers win by at least 10 points is my prediction. I think Vegas has it at 7, but I do think it's something to look at too. Okay, so final thoughts. I wanted to talk a little bit about the injury report, where we stand right now moving forward. I'm just going to break it down, the list, and give my thoughts on where we stand injury-wise, and I'm going to make a prediction on who's going to play and who's not going to play. So first and foremost, Keenan Allen. Again, Keenan Allen's huge for third downs. We've talked about this many times. He has a hamstring injury. He's been limited practice both games, or both days, Wednesday, Thursday. Most likely limited practice today as well too. Look, I think Keenan Allen's going to play. I had a sneaky suspicion he could have played even last week versus the Chiefs, but it was a short week, so I think they precautionary kept him out. Now, where Keenan Allen is really good is Keenan Allen's very good at third down. Okay, he's not really good at yards after the catch, which frustrates me at times with Keenan Allen. But the good thing is he could catch the ball, drop to the ground, and move the sticks, and that's all we want. We want the ability to move forward. We missed that against the Chiefs. If you look at our third down conversion, it was very low, and that's where Keenan Allen was really good. Let's go J.C. Jackson. J.C. Jackson has, again, his ankle from his surgery. I do think he aggravated that again. He did not practice Wednesday, did not practice Thursday. My prediction is he most likely will not play versus the Jaguars. He got burned quite a bit. I kind of wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I looked at some of the other videos. Yes, he got burned 5 for 5. And bottom line, he probably needs to sit another week. And I think that's a good thing. We want a healthy J.C. Jackson for the season moving forward. It's unfortunate things went the way they did. But the good news is, bottom line, guys, I feel like the people we have in there, Asante Samuel is going to do great. I think we'll match up very well. Look, they're going to struggle to pass the ball at all. And then secondarily, if we could stop the run, the game's going to be over at that point, right? So another person I want to talk about is Donald Parham. He has his hamstring injury. Apparently he's trending positive, right? So he had limited practice Wednesday, limited practice Thursday, and most likely probably a limited practice today as well too. Look, the good news is I do think he probably is ready to go. It sounds to me like he's listed pretty much everyone on this injury list, by the way, is listed day to day. But I do think Donald Parham will see him on the field. At least he'll suit him up and see if he can go. So it'll be interesting to see what happens specifically with him. Okay, so my predictions, he probably will play as well, which would be great. All right, so let's go to, let's see, Corey Lindsley, our all-pro center. He's got a knee injury. I understand it's knee tendonitis. By the way, I have Achilles tendonitis. I still play sports, but and it sucks. It really is very inconvenient. It hurts a lot. It just really does not feel good. It's a comfort level issue. Your knee is I would almost argue it's probably worse than your Achilles to some degree, just because you really need your knee to work properly. And the argument is your Achilles just hurts. It's very inconvenient. But with Corey Lindsley, he has not practiced Wednesday, Thursday. I think he'll probably be a game time decision. They may suit him up, and they may try and work him out a little bit before the game. And if he doesn't, look good or have the ability to make all the cuts and the moves he needs to, they'll probably just sit him out. That means Will Clapp will be our center, which is a problem, guys. I mean, look, let's make this very clear. Corey Lindsley is a person not easily replaced. He's arguably one of the best centers in the league. Okay. And the centers, one of their roles is actually to specifically call out the protection scheme for each play, right? Run block right, run block left, cover this guy, you cover that guy, right? He's the one that is quarterbacking, protecting, guess what? Justin Herbert, our crown jewel. So I'm a little hesitant to say that Corey Lindsley, I want him to play, but I also want him to get healthy, and Will Clapp coming in might be okay, but again, I think I'm concerned about the protection scheme. That's what I'm concerned about. So we'll see where he goes on that. I do think they'll probably try him, get him to go early, and then go from there. So we'll see what happens. Let's go to the last one, and then we'll go to Justin Herbert. So let's go to Trey Pipkins. He has a foot or ankle injury. Limited practice Wednesday, limited practice Thursday. So, look, I think he's also listed day to day for the most part. I do think he will most likely play, or at least get out there, see how he feels in warmups. Try and get it loose. I'm sure they'll evaluate him moving forward. But again, I think Trey Pipkins and Zion Johnson's a better matchup than Zion Johnson and of course Storm Norton. So I'm really hoping Trey can go. But if he can't, he can't, right? And so, again, guys, it's frustrating because you do not want to see attrition on the line like this early in the season, right? It just doesn't bode well. And hopefully Trey can go. I do think then our running game would also be much improved moving forward. Again, we'll see where that plays out. So let's go to our final one. The big one people keeps asking about is, of course, Justin Herbert. Limited practice Wednesday, limited practice on Thursday. My prediction is he will play versus the Jags. Look, it's a rib injury. We do know they're highly documented that rib injuries are inconvenient, right? But the question, the only reason why they would get him out, okay, or have him sit this game is if he's having problems with being accurate, right? If he's not throwing the ball downfield, he's not making the same throws. That becomes a liability, right? Because then as you're throwing the ball, you have the larger ability to get the ball taken away, right? Or interceptions, tip balls, so on and so forth. Right? The list goes on and on. The thing that we really like about Justin Herbert is he fits the balls in very tight windows. Well, that's going to be a lot harder with a rib injury, right, guys? And so I promise you that's where the conversation is going to be all week and going up into the game, right? So, it's something to be aware of. It's something to think about. It's something to keep our eye on. But my prediction is Justin Herbert will most likely play. So, guys, what are your thoughts? And what do you guys think as far as, injuries and all these different things moving forward? At the end of the day, guys, as always, I'm Andrew. Bolt up, don't punt. See you guys in the next one.